My daughter Lizzie was a co-ed. She was a sophomore at University of New Hampshire. And as part of trying to come up with friends, she had identified a girl to be a friend from a place that she worked. She worked at a department store. And that girlfriend was really setting her up to become involved in this sadomasochistic lifestyle that she and her boyfriend had. And from that introduction, within 2 weeks, they had killed Lizzie. You know, they murdered her, they raped her, they threw her body in the ocean, and started this whole process off for us.
I am a survivor of childhood sexual assault, sexually assaulted from the age of 6 years old to the age of 16 years old, and a very proud volunteer of the Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence.
Back in early 2011, my then husband violently sexually assaulted me in the process of separating, in the process of the beginning stages of a divorce. Just became jealous and enraged, and he strangled me that night, and I thought he was going to kill me. It was awful. And so that's through that experience how eventually I ended up in the criminal justice process and ended up divorced. And throughout that process, that really, really difficult process, I eventually was able to grieve and able to move past some of that, and now, you know, I would identify as a survivor now.
The work that we do is truly inspired by survivors. It is a partnership, and we work side by side every day with survivors who help us craft better policies, improve the responses of institutions, and ensure that survivors get the dignity and respect that they deserve.
You know, for me, the reality was that it became better for my children to move them into my business, which was a warehouse at the time. That was more safe and stable for them than leaving them at home. And that was a hard decision that really, depending on the hour, I could have gone either way on which one was more safe and stable and the smart thing to do as their mother. It was so dangerous every day that we stayed in that house. It could have ended differently so easily, and we had to leave. But you know, we certainly stayed much longer because I didn't know what resources, or there wasn't enough resources in place for us to leave.
Statewide work is critical because every survivor deserves to have the same rights and the same opportunities. It doesn't matter whether a victim lives in a remote rural area, in an urban setting, whether they are an adult or a child, whether it's someone who has means or struggles financially, or what their gender identity is. They deserve the same opportunities, and it's our job to help create those opportunities, to create those remedies, and to ensure that the systems they interact with respond to them in a way that is safe and appropriate and trauma-informed.
One of the most frustrating things about being a victim is the loss of control. And it's an all-encompassing thing, from the initial thing that happens through the entire legal process. You don't have any ability to do anything. And the coalition provided the avenue, and provided the encouragement, and provided the advice on being able to go off and get your voice heard. And that is something that is priceless.
To share my story it's hard every single time. No matter what, I'll practice first in the mirror, and I can read it and I say it, and then when you say it, it's hard to say it to another human being just because it's wrong and it shouldn't have happened. So again, the coalition just kind of gave me that tissue, kind of helped dry my eyes, and I feel like they feel it with you, and they know that that's hard. So each time, believe it or not, each time you do share it, you get a little stronger.
And having the coalition be a strong voice for victims, be constantly advocating for victims, makes a huge difference in the lives of so many people in the state of New Hampshire. And it's just critically important that their work continue and be expanded on.
You know, this has been, the darkest part of my life. I'm 56 years old right now, and the last 6 years have been the worst of my life. And the only bright spot that I get out of it is that how can I help prevent someone else from going through that same 6 black years. And I feel that the coalition has allowed me to stand up, to be front and center, tell my story, plead with people, please don't allow this to happen to someone else. Because no one should have to go through what I did. Because if I can accomplish that, then part of the loss of Lizzie, has been made up.
Tests and trials, love renew. Yeah, we've made it. We've always been proven true. We've always been proven true. Still the world that tries to steal our home.
My turn to thank all of you. You have changed my life. I have never been so clear on my purpose and what I am meant to do, so thank you. Your advice, support, encouragement, and love have meant the world to me. And I can't believe I am so blessed to have such caring, brilliant women in my life and can call them my friends. Thank you. Together, we can end domestic and sexual violence in New Hampshire.
Together, we can end domestic and sexual violence in New Hampshire.